extra time.
Hi, it's Norman Kochannek here for Extra Time. I'm at the Sydney Cricket Ground, the SCG, on day 2 after the third test between India and Australia for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. Australia started day 2 at 2 for 166 with Labuschagne on 67 and Smith on 31. They actually went together and batted particularly well. Smith got his 50 and they actually then ended up having a 100-run partnership between the two of them, as did Labuschagne and Pucovski earlier. And on 206, they lost their third wicket. Labuschagne was actually caught first slip by Rahane off Jadeja for 91 runs. So in fact, Labuschagne unfortunately didn't get his 100 and Jadeja took one of his 4 wickets of the day, which was very impressive. Then Wade came in and he batted particularly loosely, I thought, and skied the ball to deep mid-on. He was caught by Bumrah off Jadeja for 13, and Australia were then 4 for 232. Somewhat shaky a position they first started with. Then the 5th wicket fell with Green, unfortunately batting for 21 deliveries, having not scored a run, and was caught LBW by Bumrah for a duck. And Australia were then somewhat struggling at 5 for 249. And to me, that was particularly a difficult stage for Australia. Jadeja had taken 3 wickets at that point, and Smith was there not out 76 actually. And they went to lunch on that score of 5 for 249. Smith came back into bat and came into bat after lunch with Payne. Payne unfortunately didn't last very long. He was actually out bowled by Bumrah for 1. And that meant there was 4 for 89 so far for the morning. It was not looking particularly good. They then went down 6 for 255. At that point, Cummins came into bat, and he was also very much bowled very quickly by Jadeja for a duck. Now, Jadeja took his 4th wicket and was particularly strong. Ashwin didn't take any wickets, but Jadeja made up with 4 wickets. Then, of course, Smith batted on, got his 100, in fact, his 27th Test century. In fact, it's his 8th against India, with the likes of, he equals now Ponting, he also equals Richards and Sobers, having taken 8, or made 8 centuries against India, which is quite impressive. In fact, 3 also in India. So Smith reaching in the echelon of centuries against India, which Sobers, the Richards and the likes of Ponting. A particularly impressive performance from Smith. Fortunately, Smith then ran himself out for 131. In fact, it was Jadeja's doing. Jadeja, as he took 4 wickets, he also fielded fantastically. He ran Smith out for 131, and Australia's innings had ended on 338. A particularly strong scoreline. Stark also got out before it for 24, but the innings was definitely Smith's with his 131 in a total of 338. That left a small session where India had to go about the batting with obviously the likes of Rohit Sharma returning after his injury and spell in quarantine, and Rohit Sharma batted with Gill, and they looked particularly strong. And it finished that tea session at none for 26, and after 9 overs, Gill was on 14 and Sharma was on 11. So that was a particularly strong 9-over period. They had to keep the wickets, and they certainly did. They were faultless batting. They returned to bat with both Sharma and Gill, and they particularly did well. In fact, Gill was looking good. Unfortunately, Sharma was caught and bowled by Hazelwood for 26, leaving the score at 70. So the first wicket fell at 70. That was the biggest opening partnership of the series, and those two in particular looked very, very strong together. I'm very, very impressed with the way they looked. Gill didn't last too much longer, unfortunately. He reached his 50 in very strong fashion and looked in particular command. Unfortunately, he then basically nicked a ball to Gully, and Green took the catch off the bowling of Cummins. So he was out for 50. So he reached his 50, but he unfortunately got out on 50. Rahane came into bat with Pujara and batted very defiantly and defended very well to the end of the day's play. There were 2 for 96 at the end of the day's play. Australia were 338. So Australia and India were pretty much an even kill, with Australia on 338 and India on 2 for 96, with Rahane and Pujara to bat on day 3. Looking like a very interesting day 3 indeed. Looking forward to it. India should have a good chance to post a big score and pass Australia's 338. This is Norman Kochannek for Extra Time. Please view, like and share the posts, and subscribe and provide feedback and comment, and I'll make sure that we get the comments back to you as quickly as possible. This is Norman Kochannek for Extra Time.
Hit the subscribe option and the bell icon to get all the exclusive sports videos on Extra Time.